Welcome back to my channel, all my subscribers, all my students and all my well-wishers. Yet another edition of a topic I am going to discuss with you. In this session, continuing with the last session where we discussed about viruses. So in this session, I will be discussing about the replication of viruses and relating it with transduction and how we can explain transduction in replication of viruses. So already we know there are two types of viruses. They are T-even bacteriophages and T-odd bacteriophages. There are T-even bacteriophage and T-odd bacteriophages. So T-even phages are those. T-even phages are, these are called virulent phages, or these are causing lysis. So these bring about lytic cycle. These bring about lytic cycle causing lysis to the bacterial cell. Whereas T-odd phages are called avirulent phages. T-odd phages, they are called avirulent phages and they do not cause any lysis to the bacterial cell. And let us see how do they replicate and how do they help in transfer of DNA from one bacterial cell to the other, which we call it as a transduction. Okay, now first I will start with the replication cycle of T-even phages, which are called as virulent phages, or they bring about the lytic cycle. So let us now start with it. Let me now start with what are T-odd phages, T-even phages, T-even phages. So I am going to discuss about the lytic cycle of which is occurring in T-even phages. So there are different steps in T-even phages. So 5 different steps. So 5 different steps of T-even phages are, first one is called as adsorption phase. Adsorption phase. First stage is called as adsorption phase. In this phase, the bacteriophage constantly collides with the bacterial cell. It constantly collides with the bacterial cell and gets attached to a particular site that is called as a receptor site. It gets attached to a receptor site on the bacterial cell wall. This is the bacterial DNA, and the viral DNA will get attached to a particular receptor site and with its own DNA. That is called as attachment, or it is called as a adsorption phase. So once it is adsorbed, or that means once it is attached to the cell wall, then it proceeds, it goes into the next step of the cycle. So next step of the cycle is called as a penetration phase. Penetration phase. So during penetration phase, what happens is the bacteriophage will get attached to the cell wall with the help of its tail fibers. So these tail fibers will secrete an enzyme. Tail fibers secrete an enzyme which is called as a lysozyme. This lysozyme is a cell wall dissolving enzyme. It dissolves the cell wall of the bacterial cell. So at this point, at one point it makes a hole. At one point it makes a hole. So this is the bacteriophage which gets attached and it secretes a hole, or it forms a hole by secreting the enzyme lysozyme. So once the hole is formed, then the bacteriophage simply will inject its DNA. The tail sheath will function like a syringe, hypodermal syringe. So it will simply contract. It is contractile. So therefore, this DNA will be injected into the bacterial cell. That is called as a penetration. So what are the steps in penetration? First, the cell wall is a dissolving enzyme, that is lysozyme, is synthesized with the help of the tail fibers. And once the lysozyme is synthesized, then after the hole is formed, the DNA will be simply injected into the bacterial cell. That is called as a penetration. Now the third step after penetration, the third step is called as a biosynthesis. The third step is called as a biosynthesis. Biosynthesis is here all the parts of viruses are synthesized. You know, bacteriophages have different parts like head, tail plate, tail fibers, tail pins, similarly DNA. So all are synthesized. First, the synthesis starts with capsid. That means protein synthesis first takes place. You know, capsid is a protein. So first protein synthesis takes place. Protein synthesis is also called as heterocatalytic function of DNA. So first heterocatalytic function of DNA takes place. So first proteins are synthesized. That means it is heterocatalytic function first starts. So different parts of the capsid like head part, tail fibers, all these are synthesized. And then followed by DNA replication. So first what is synthesized? The proteins are synthesized, capsid proteins, and then followed by DNA replication. So here what we find is whatever all required for DNA replication, that is all enzymes which are required, energy is required. Similarly, for protein synthesis, amino acids are required, ribosomes are required, and all the types of RNA are required. So all these are utilized from the host. Virus has only one, that is DNA, and it is dictating all the other synthesis of its own protein by utilizing complete machinery. And in biosynthetic phase, we find all the viral particles, all the viral parts are separately synthesized. That is tail fibers, then tail and tail pins, all will be separately synthesized. Similarly, DNA also will be separately formed. So, and meanwhile, the bacterial DNA will gradually, it will reduce to small fragments. So this phase, complete virus is not seen. Complete viral particle, complete virion is not seen. So therefore, this phase is also called as eclipse phase. This phase is also called as a eclipse phase. So in eclipse phase, it is called eclipse because complete virions are not seen. Like a shadow, eclipse means actually a shadow. So complete virions are not seen. So therefore this is called as an eclipse phase. So in biosynthesis, synthesis of viral components take place. Now the next one is called as a maturation phase. Next one is called as a maturation phase. So during maturation, assembly of different parts take place. All parts which are synthesized, now they assemble in a particular fashion. How they are assembled? Starting first from the head. From head region it first starts and it goes in a descending way up to the tail. So first the head, into the head DNA will enter. And then the tail will enter, tail sheath, then tail plate or end plate, then tail pins, and finally the tail fibers. So this sequence is called descending order. So in this sequence, all virions will be assembled and complete virions are observed in maturation phase. Complete virions can be observed. And by this time, the host DNA, further it will disintegrate. So host DNA further will reduce into fragments and we can find complete viral particles, complete virions. Complete viral particles, complete virions can be easily observed in the cell. During this process, what can happen is, sometimes some mistake can happen during assembly process. What is that mistake? By mistake, a host DNA may enter into the bacteriophage. 1 in million, suppose million copies are synthesized, out of that one may have instead of its own DNA, it may have the bacterial DNA. Instead of having its own DNA, it may have the bacterial DNA. That mistake can happen. It will have the bacterial DNA. Then this virus, when it again attacks another bacterial cell, it is bringing about transfer of this bacterial DNA into the other. But it cannot cause lysis. It cannot cause lysis because this is its own bacterial DNA. Its own bacterial DNA will enter into another bacterial cell. So this process is called transduction. So transduction in lytic phase can occur during the assembly process. By mistake, if the bacterial DNA enters into the head of the bacteriophage. That can help in transfer of the DNA from one bacterial cell to the other bacterial cell. Now, the last phase, fourth one is called as the fourth phase. Fourth phase we call it as a lysis phase. Fifth phase we call it as a lysis phase. Let us see what happens in a lysis phase. So during lysis, once again, the lysozyme will be synthesized. The enzyme, the cell wall dissolving enzyme, lysozyme is synthesized once again during this with the help of the bacteria. And this lysozyme will completely dissolve the bacterial cell wall and the bacterial cell wall is open. So during maturation, all the virions are released. So by the time lysis comes, the bacterial cell wall, lysozyme is synthesized and cell wall, bacterial cell wall, it breaks. Bacterial cell wall can break and then it releases all virions. Virion means complete virus particle. So one bacterial cell is attacked by one bacteriophage. But by the end, by lysis, it forms many virions, many virus particles. How many? The number of virion particles which are released for one attack, that is called as a burst size. It is called as a burst size. So what is the burst size? Is the number of viruses, virions, which are released by attack of one bacteriophage. Normally the burst size varies between 50 to 200. Burst size varies between 50 to 200. So that means it is ready to attack another 50 or 200 bacterial cells. So this is what is called as a lysis. So lytic phase. So how do we relate it to transduction? Transduction takes place, there is a possibility of transduction during the assembly process. By mistake, if bacterial DNA enters into the bacteriophage, and at the end of lysis, this is how we can show at the end of lysis. Once the bacteriophage is released, this bacteriophage, if it is by mistake having the bacterial DNA, say this is the bacterial DNA. Such phage which is carrying bacterial DNA, this is also called as a transducing phage. And this, when attacks another bacterial cell, it can bring about transduction. And this type of transduction, there is a name given to this type of transduction. This type of transduction is called as a generalized transduction. This is called as a generalized transduction. Because randomly any fragment can enter. It is not anything specific. Randomly any fragment can enter. So it is called as a generalized transduction. So that is about lytic cycle when transduction can take place. Now let us see about lysogenic cycle. Let us now try to understand what is lysogenic cycle. And when is transduction possible in lysogenic cycle? So let us see what is a lysogenic cycle. Lysogenic cycle takes place by T-odd bacteriophages. The bacteriophages are called T-odd phages, or these are also called lambda phages, or these are also called as temperate phages. These are also called as a temperate phages. They are called T-odd phages, lambda phages, or they are called temperate phages. Here the first two stages are same, that is absorption and penetration. First two stages are same. After penetration, so suppose penetration has taken place and this is the bacterial DNA and viral DNA will enter. So that is penetration stage. And after penetration, we find instead of entering into the next phase, this viral DNA will be completely integrated with bacterial DNA. It completely fuses with bacterial DNA. So, this is how it fuses. If this is the bacterial DNA, completely this viral DNA. So, this is the viral DNA. It completely gets fused with the bacterial DNA. Now, this viral DNA which is fused, it is called as a prophage. This viral DNA which is fusing, it is called as a prophage. As long as it is in the prophage state, this bacteria will undergo its own multiplication, that is by binary fission. So binary fission will continue. Along with that, even this prophage or viral DNA will also multiply without causing any harm to the bacterial cell. So that will go endlessly. But rarely, sometimes, what can happen is, the prophage can get separated. Rarely we can find the prophage get separated. So rarely prophage is separated. Rarely prophage is separated. Under what conditions prophage will be separated? Under if cell is exposed to UV light or exposed to any chemicals or any toxins. If cell is exposed to UV light or to chemicals or to toxins, then this prophage can get separated. When this prophage gets separated, it lies separately. So, this is the one, this is the bacterial DNA. It is already integrated. So, this can come separately and it can lie separately. During this separation, and this separation is called as, rarely prophage is separated under the influence of UV light, chemical or toxins. And this separation is given a name. This separation is called induction. The separation is called as induction. So rarely when it gets separated, it lies separately. Then for this cycle, it can induce lytic cycle. For that particular generation, it can induce lytic cycle. But during separation, what happens is, exactly it may not be separated exactly at this point, but it may pull away some of the bacterial DNA also. When it is getting separated, it may pull some bacterial DNA. It may pull some bacterial DNA from this side or from this side, from any side. So, during the process, this is called as induction, and during induction, viral DNA may pull off some bacterial DNA. Viral DNA may pull off some bacterial DNA along with it. So not exactly the same, but it may pull off. So that means this DNA will carry some of the bacterial DNA also along with it. So when it is going into the next cycle, it is following the lytic cycle. You know, during lytic cycle, at the end of the lysis, many bacteriophages will be released. Many bacteriophages will be released. So these bacteriophages, they may contain their own DNA. Along with their DNA, they may also contain some bacterial DNA. So this is the viral capsid. So this is the viral DNA. Along with that, it may also contain some bacterial DNA. So when such phase is attacking another bacterial cell, remember it is originally a lysogenic phase. So such phase, when it is attacking another bacterial cell, this DNA will enter into the bacterial cell and then it will be totally integrated with the bacterial cell. So this is carrying a piece of bacterial DNA. So it will be totally integrating with the bacterial cell. It is bringing about transfer of bacterial DNA from one cell to the other cell. This is also a process of transduction. So during lysogenic cycle, when will transduction take place? During induction. When viral DNA or prophage gets separated, it can bring about the process of transduction. And this type of transduction during lysogenic cycle, this is called as a specialized transduction. It is called as a specialized transduction. During the lysogenic cycle, the transduction which is taking place, it is called specialized because it is going to take only specific fragments, specific place, DNA from a specific place. That is just on either side of viral DNA. Any one side or sometimes both the sides. It is not going to take any other DNA except DNA just present close to it. That's why this is called as a specialized transduction. So once again, let me just summarize what is transduction. So transduction is transfer of genetic material from one bacterial cell to the other with the help of a bacteriophage. And bacteriophage shows two types of replication cycles inside the bacteria. One is called as a lytic cycle, another is called as a lysogenic cycle. Lytic cycle takes place in T-even phages. And at the end of the lytic cycle, viral particles are released. So during lytic cycle, during the process of assembly, by mistake, bacterial DNA can enter into the phage head. And such phage is called as transducing phage. When such transducing phage is attacking another bacterial cell, it is bringing about the transduction. And such transduction is called as generalized transduction. So transduction taking place during lytic cycle is called generalized transduction. Now specialized transduction is taking place during lysogenic phase. In lysogenic phase, what happens? Viral DNA is completely integrated with bacterial DNA and it is called as a prophage. Accidentally sometimes this prophage may come out. When it comes out, it takes away some of the bacterial DNA along with it. Only some specific parts of bacterial DNA which are present on either side of prophage. And when this attacks another bacterial cell, it is bringing about the transduction. So here it is called as a specialized transduction. Here it is called specialized transduction because it is taking only some specific DNA from the host. So this is how we can explain the generalized and specialized transduction. Out of the two, if we have to choose which one has more chances of transduction, then we can say it is only lysogenic phage. That has more chances compared to lytic cycle. Okay. So this is what I wanted to say, my dear students and all my subscribers. This is what I completed transduction relating it to lytic and lysogenic cycle. So I conclude my video here and let us meet on next video, yet another video I am going to make on a continuation of these viruses. If I have anything else I have in viruses to speak, mostly about any other structure of viruses I am going to make. and then I'll come out with yet another very important and useful video. Thank you very much for listening. Please do share all my videos and link to the all well-wishers and those who are all students and those who are joined the profession recently. My only intention is to reach the maximum number of people, and because teaching is my passion. So thank you very much. Please share and do subscribe. Have a good day.